r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. What is the most interesting rabbit hole you've ever been down? The lost media rabbit hole. People spending years tracking down obscure TV episodes, deleted songs, or old internet clips that barely anyone remembers, and sometimes actually finding them. It's weirdly wholesome detective work. My favorite is that old Japanese porno that partially saved a fully lost episode of Doraemon because it just happened to be broadcasting on a TV that's on in the background of a scene. I was curious why Sarah Palin, who is from Alaska, spoke with such a pronounced Midwestern accent. I discovered that in 1935, the government moved 200 Midwest farm families to the area around Wasilla to start farms and revitalize the area. And because it's such an isolated area, very little has changed linguistically over the past 100 years. Stephen Hawking's personal life. It's a lot crazier and raunchier than I expected. I think he was one of the first Epstein verified visitors to get exposed. It was never a secret though. I heard of his visiting the island in the 2000s, and the event was written up in the local Virgin Islands paper. Epstein hosted some sort of conference and Hawking attended. It's just with the release a ton of people heard about it who hadn't before. I was trying to figure out what my Russian orphanage was called. Ended up finding out that my parents went through an organization that was shut down for human trafficking allegations. Found out all of my extended family from a DNA test are located in Finland. I fell into the people who vanish and restart new lives rabbit hole. Equal parts fascinating and unsettling. Makes you realize how thin identity really is. Looked up why flamingos are pink. It's the shrimp they eat. But then discovered that zoo flamingos lose their color without special diet supplements. Then learned that in the 1960s, zoos had to figure out the exact shrimp compound, or their flamingos would turn white. Ended up reading about color chemistry in animals for 3 hours. This might be more weird than interesting, but before Reddit kinda replaced them, I used to be on internet forums. This one time, someone posted an odd thread asking for examples of cartoon characters getting electrocuted so their skeletons show. No context or reason given. Naturally, I assume this is kink related, and because I can't just let such mysteries be, I decide to Google it. You're probably assuming I found some weird corner of the internet full of electrocuted skeleton fetishists, but no. Instead, I find that this same person has visited dozens of forums, copying and pasting this exact same thread over and over. I also find their DeviantArt page, which contains, well, take a wild guess. And like, that's it. That's all I find. One person so desperate for electrocuted cartoon character pics that they dominate the search results. Colonel Sanders, the guy who created KFC. How he didn't have a biopic or series yet, I'll never know. Maybe it's too bananas. Sometimes I go to prison pen pal websites and look up what they did to get locked up. One girl hit a lady in the face with an axe for her boyfriend. My former best friend from high school that went to prison has one of those pen pal profiles set up. I would have to look up what website it was. Well, he was in prison for raping his sister. His charge was something like second-degree sexual assault of a minor. But the whole town knew the story and why he was there. I just think the state didn't pursue more than they knew would stick. It makes me sick knowing that he only was in prison for about 3 years. How the end of the universe will happen. I love astronomy, but this rabbit hole, in perspective of the life of the universe, humans will only exist for like 0.000000000000001%. It's like 30 more zeros by the way, of the life of the universe. We are literally a blink and miss it moment in the grand scheme of things. Then how every star will eventually die, black holes merging, dark energy theory that we can't even fathom yet, is over 75% of the universe's energy. Like it's actually freaking crazy. We mean nothing, and there's nothing scarier than knowing your own mortality will never have a significant impact in the big picture. I guess we just make the best of life that we can. But man, space is so fascinating and scary. I'm just sad I was born now, and not in the future, where we'll have more info about the universe. Google Street View. You can view different Street View dates. I believe they started around 2008 with low quality images, but they refresh the images every couple of years, so you can see how things have changed over the years. Doesn't always work, some areas don't have many dates, and there are issues that occur, but pretty fun and interesting to see how many places have changed over the years. See building and roads get built, torn down, and expanded. Places grow into big cities. Hope to continues in the future. Interesting to see some cities I have lived in go into urban planning and create protected bike lanes, new housing, and things like that. Learning how to play music. It's a never-ending rabbit hole. As far as I'm concerned, you never quit learning. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.